Namaste. Welcome to Be Your Own God. This is Samira. We live in a world where we think pride is a good thing. And to an extent it may be. We should definitely have self-love and self-respect. But pride we need to watch for. In the energy world, in the world of this universe, pride has its negative points. A lot of them, as a matter of fact. For one, it creates a loss of judgment. See, we have a spiritual mind and a physical mind. And when we allow pride to overtake us, it's our physical mind that becomes very powerful, boastful. Our physical mind doesn't always make the right choices for our spiritual growth, to get to those higher energy levels, to really get in touch with that almighty universe. We need to be careful of that all our physical mind is doing is trying to create a competition. It's trying to do better than somebody else. So that brings us to point number 2, which is our spiritual downfall. And by that, I mean basically pride prevents us from acknowledging that maybe some of our accomplishments are coming from a higher source. We think we are the doers. It's the ego that takes over. And we feel like, hey, everything that's happening is because of me. It is the I am doing this. Not realizing that there could be universal energies at play and we don't acknowledge them. Everything comes from the point of view of the ego. Point number 3, lower vibrations. When we start coming from that point of view that I am the doer, everything that's happening, it's because of me and me alone, it's the I, the ego, we start vibrating at a lower level. When we do negativity comes, and pride is one of those negative factors. So we start vibrating at that lower energy level, and it starts clouding our judgment, it starts impacting us spiritually, it lowers our vibrations. Point 3, injustice. And you're like, what? But yes, when we start taking credit for everything, and everything is from the point of view of I, by injustice, I mean that we start blaming everything is being done by us. We become very closed-minded. We are no longer open-minded. We don't see other points of views because, hey, we're right. I'm the best at it. So I know the best. And we shut down to other opportunities, other perspectives, other point of views. It's all about, hey, I am the expert. I am the great one. So y'all should listen to me. Point number 5, jealousy. See, it's our ego that compares our journey to somebody else's, our success and failures to somebody else's. And when we do that and we think that we're the best and now somebody else is possibly getting better than us, it creates jealousy, creates insecurity within us. So that is adding on and piling on to all these domino effects that's caused by pride. Point 6, discontent. One of the most important lessons we need to remember and learn is to be content. Pride doesn't allow us to be content. We're always trying to be the best and remain on the top. If we get there, we want to stay there. So we're never content. We're always going to be in a fight. We're always going to be in a little bit of a struggle. And this stuff, again, starts bringing us down, our energy levels down, and it's exhausting. See, our subconscious mind, or our higher self, it's always giving us advice. If we are humble, we'll listen to it. But if you're full of pride and ego, we shut it down. And soon, our subconscious mind stops talking to us. It becomes dormant. And that's when we get ourselves into a lot of trouble. And one of the worst things in our world today, due to pride, is the loss of relationships. When we become so full of ourselves, so full of, I'm so important, I'm the best, I'm great, I'm awesome, and we don't acknowledge other people, it starts affecting our relationship. People don't want to be with someone who's just egoistical. You get tired of them. You know it. We have those issues when we are around those types of people. We may have to tolerate that, but there's negativity within us. We don't want to be in their company for long. but yet a person who's sweet, humble, open-minded, we're very much attracted to them. We like to talk to them. We like to be in their company. C, pride is about superiority and not equality. Another negative point with respect to pride is expectations, whether it's expectations that others have of you or you have of yourselves. See, the ego creates expectations. It has a fixed agenda. It always says, whatever it is, it has to come my way. I have to be on the top. It has to be this way, my way, or the highway. That's the ego. That's pride. We have to be very careful with that. When we create expectations, we always sink into sorrow. Expectations is the true cause of misery. Think about it. When you don't meet expectations either of yourself or of others, you're disappointed. You're let down. You feel miserable. If you have expectations of others and they are not met, again, you're feeling miserable. Who is the cause of all this misery and sorrow? You, or the I, the ego. Okay, so now we know there are issues with pride. What do we do about it? Is there something we can do? Of course. Number one, control that pride. Recognize you're not it. Analyze yourself. See that the accomplishments you have achieved, are they all just because of you? Was there a higher source at work? Were there other people at work? We coexist. We cannot do everything by ourselves. So we have come to the level we have come is because of other people, including our parents. You know, if they weren't there, you wouldn't be here, right? If your teachers, your coworkers, your bosses weren't there, you wouldn't be the person you are. You wouldn't have achieved what you have achieved. Even those who don't do well are a blessing to you because they make you shine. You cannot do it all on your own. It's a coexistence. A third point, an exercise you can do, is replace your prideful thoughts with humble ones. So when you get something that you feel really egotistical about, really prideful about, think about it and see if you can replace that with some humility, with some humbleness. When you do this, a small prideful thought will not blow up into a full-time egoistical thought and take over. And when I talk about humble, I don't mean to act humble. I'm saying be humble. A lot of people act humble, try to pretend like, oh, shucks, it's not me, no, it wasn't for everybody else, but inside they're full of, yes, it's all me. So don't act humble, be humble. So how does a person know if he or she is full of pride, or what are the signs of pride? Here are a few. You don't believe in an existence of someone higher than you. You think you're it. It's very hard for you to accept your flaws. When you find out that you're wrong and someone else is right, you can't handle it. Even though you know you're wrong, you're going to fight it. No, I'm right. You're going to try to justify your actions. You think you're the only one who's gifted. You run away from truth. You believe you're indispensable. You feel that your point of view is the only point of view, or is the only right point of view. You constantly put people down and make them feel small. You do not care if you hurt other people's feelings. You feel prayer or reaching out to a higher source or the universe is useless and insignificant. You resist change. You think only about yourself. You can't handle it if someone doesn't agree with you. Okay, so now shifting gear to humility. How does one acquire that? Pray. Reach out to a higher source. Reach out to the universe. Remember, the universal energy connects us all. We're all united. And that's point number 2. Recognize the fact that you coexist with others. Understand unity. Reach out and allow your subconscious mind, your higher self, to be your guiding light. Learn how to serve others. Be in a position and create that situation where you can help others. Instead of always being about you, think about other people. Be open and understand other people's point of view. At least listen to them. See if what they have is of some value. Maybe not the whole picture, but everybody creates our world. It's not just one person running the show. Think about that. Be compassionate. Keep other people's feelings in mind. Be open to spiritual knowledge, universal knowledge. When you're unsure about something, ask. Ask people who you trust, your friends, your families. And if there's nobody else, ask the universe. Last but not least, learn to surrender to a higher power. He will always, always guide you. Now, this is a very high-level overview between pride and humility. But in following videos, I will go into a little bit more depth of this, and we can, do a little deep dive. This is more of a high-level overview, and I hope you found this informative. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Until next time, namaste.